This is Janet from Radar of God's Word. Today we're going to talk about how not to get undone in life. In Isaiah 6:5, Isaiah had just seen a vision of God sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, and there were seraphims around them singing, "Holy, holy, holy." And after that vision in Isaiah 6:5, this is what Isaiah said. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips. For I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. So what Isaiah is saying there is how he felt when he had this vision of God in all of his holiness up in the throne room and with the seraphim singing holy, 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 and actually worshiping God. He saw in the contrast of seeing that, he saw just how unholy he was and just how evil and bad he was. And he said, from realizing this, he became undone. And what does it mean to become undone? Well, Isaiah actually was ruined. He was disturbed. He was destroyed. Undone can mean dead. So he actually just became destroyed when he saw the contrast between the way God is and how he is. And actually, this reminded me of a song. There's a song by the Guess Who, and it's actually called Undone, Undun. And this is talking about a girl who she saw too many churches and not enough truth, too many people and not enough eyes to see. And then it said, it's too late. She's gone too far. She's lost the sun. She's come undone. So meaning that she was searching for truth, but she lost the light and the revelation. And then, according to this person, it was too late and she'd become undone. But it was not too late for Isaiah. In Isaiah 6:6 and 7, it says, Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongs from off the altar. And he laid it upon my mouth and said, Lo, this hath touched my lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged. So this is a picture of what happened. Heat actually purifies. So that hot coal in the seraphim's hand, when it touched his lips, it purged him and cleansed him from impurities. And actually, what you say has the power to make results in your life, because Matthew 12:34 says, out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. So the words that you speak actually is what comes from your heart. The condition of your heart makes the words you speak. The words you speak have power, and then they have power to have results and consequences and make circumstances in your life. So in this saying in Matthew, then it said in the next part, how can ye, being evil, Jesus was actually talking to the Pharisees, speak good things. So an evil man out of an evil heart does evil things, but a good man out of a good heart does good things. So I think this is symbolic of why he touched his lips. And to purge something, it always takes heat. That's why this coal came off of the altar. It takes heat. And even to refine gold, to get the impurities out, it said gold has to be reached a heat of 2,000 degrees. And actually what happens is it gets so hot that the scum, which is the dross in the tin, that's the waste matter and the worthless parts of the gold, they actually float to the top. So then they just scrape that away and have pure gold, but it comes by heat. And Isaiah 125 said, And I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away thy dross and take away all thy sin. So that's how, through going through trials and tribulations, which are like fires, that's how God changes you and gets the impurities impurities out of you. And nowadays, those types of impurities are actually the enemy nations of your soul. There's those idols these little g gods, these evil spirits that you walk after, follow, serve, worship, and actually sacrifice your life. And in Job 23:10, Job actually said, "But he knoweth the way that I take. When he have tried me, I shall come forth as gold." So that's that tryings, through trials and testings and tribulations, God's fire, it actually will work these enemies out of your soul. And these things that are ruining and destroying your life, just like the heat on gold actually works out all the impurities, and then they go to the top and then it scrapes the scum off, the worthless part of gold. God actually works these little g gods, these evil spirits, out of your life so that you are purged and you become pure and holy like he is. And then you can have this good life and you'll have this good heart, and all you have to do is keep it. And in one of the things that now we have nowadays, we actually have Jesus. And we do not have to become undone in our life because of what God and Jesus have done. We don't have to become destroyed in our life and ruined, because Jesus made a way. And he offered, in fact, Father gave us the gift of Jesus, and Jesus offered his life. He laid down his life for us. He was crucified, resurrection, and ascended up to Jesus. And we can have everlasting life. And you get this by Jesus. He is actually the quencher. He quenches the fiery fury of God that burns, because Jesus is the perfect sacrifice, because he is totally sinless. And there must always be a payment for sin. So since Jesus is always sinless, he was the perfect sacrifice. He is the quencher, but then he's the quickener. He also quickens your alone dead spirit to make it alive. And this is the second birth. And I was thinking about this, and it's very much like connecting wires to a dead battery. When you have a dead battery and you connect the cable wires from a live battery, a good battery, to the dead battery, that you would connect them and they become attached, well, then the dead battery is no longer alone. It's no longer alone because it has connected through the cables and this transference of power and life to the dead battery. And then the dead battery becomes alive and it becomes functioning. So it's the same thing when you believe and receive Jesus in your life. Your spirit, which is alone, it has not become alive yet because you're always functioning out of the physical, the carnal. But when it connects with the Spirit of God through Jesus, then your spirit's no longer alone, because anything alone is dead. Then your spirit, when it connects with Jesus, it becomes alive. And then you have this alive spirit now, and the two of you become one. And that you are receiving the second birth. And when you receive the second birth, you no longer have to have a second death. But if you don't receive the second birth, you will have to have the second death, which will be everlasting death. But the key to not having an undone life, and it'll last forever, is to have this spiritual second birth, where you have, like the ever ready battery, it's made out of gold alkaline. You are always connected to life. You are always connected to God and Jesus. And then you will live forever in everlasting life. So, till next time on Radar of God's Word, where we will think for more ways, 4 days of heaven on earth.